People usually say that you need money to win in Yu-Gi-Oh! Today, however, I'm here to prove you wrong. What's up, guys? This is Miasin. So in this video today, we will be focusing on the new Blue Eye structure deck that is coming out on February 7th in the TCG, and it has absolutely everything that you can ask for. As a matter of fact, even if you've never played Yu-Gi-Oh! Before or you have like no money to invest in the game, buying 3 copies of the structure deck is literally all you need. It's pretty much Monarch 2.0, where you can literally forget your deck at home, go to a regional, buy 3 structure decks, a pack of sleeves, and you could actually get your invite for Nats. That is just to tell you how broken the structure deck is. And just in case you don't trust me, look at the cards that are already confirmed for the structure deck. Yeah, so we got Nibiru, Ash, Effect Veiler, and Imperm. Those are 4 different hand traps in a structure deck, which is pretty much unheard of. I mean, they're also really good hand traps, so you barely need to buy like anything else in order to make the deck good, at least for the main deck. And then for the side deck, it's just a bunch of very cheap and accessible cards. As a matter of fact, the good news is that for next format, the majority of the side deck cards that you will need will be extremely cheap cards such as Artifact Lancia, Ultimate Slayer with the Neurologic Aggregator, and then Dimensional Barrier. Just a bunch of cards that you can find for dirt cheap, and then maybe Lightning Storm, Duster, Cosmic Cyclone. Most of those cards got reprinted like billions of times. And the beauty about Blue Eyes is that regardless of, you know, if you have the money or if you don't have the money, there's always an optimal way to play it out. If you do have the money, then obviously you can start playing maybe the Primite engine in it. You can play Dominus Impulse, so you have more options at your disposal. But if you're broke and all you can really afford is just 3 structure decks, and maybe you can afford like another $5 to $10 on some other staples, this new product is perfect for you. And of course, I will be making an update on this video as we get closer to the release of the Blue Eye structure deck, but I still wanted to give you guys an introduction on how this product functions for now. Anyways, before we go any further, you already know the drill. Smash the like and subscribe button. It really helps me out a lot making these videos. And with that being said, let's get right into it. Alright, so first things first, we've got, I believe, 8 new cards that are coming out in the structure deck, and I really wanted to review all of them before we started going over, you know, the deck profile and everything. So the first monster is probably one of the best monsters and best cards in the deck. It's Maiden of White, so you can send it from your hand or field to the graveyard, and then you place a True Light from your hand, deck, or graveyard face up in your spell and trap zone. That card, by the way, is basically Eternal Soul, but for Blue Eyes White Dragon. Anyways, if you special summon Blue Eyes White Dragon while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card. When a card or effect is activated that targets this card on the field, or when this card is targeted for an attack, quick effect, you can special summon 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon or 1 level 1 Light Tuner from your graveyard, and you can only use each effect of Maiden of White once per turn. So I can confirm that all 3 of these effects are extremely relevant. So the first one is a starter. It gets all of your play started on its own. The second one is maybe also a very good effect, because whenever you revive back your Blue Eyes White Dragon or you summon it by any means, even with another card that is also coming out in the structure deck, you get back your Maiden of White. And the third effect, what is really cool about it is that you can trigger it proactively just with your own cards, such as Mausoleum of White, and then you target your Maiden of White, and then you can revive back either Blue Eyes again or a level 1 Light Tuner from your graveyard. So again, all 3 effects are fantastic. This card is a 10 out of 10. Also, this happens to be a level 1 Light Tuner with 0 attack and 0 defense, so you can search it with P-Erase Map, with Sage with Eyes of Blue. There is infinite things that you can do with Maiden of White. The next monster that we got is Neo Kaiser Seahorse, and this one is a little more simple. So this is a level 4 Light Dragon Tuner. A little less relevant the fact that it's a tuner monster though, and it reads, if you control Blue Eyes White Dragon very specifically, you can special summon this card from your hand, and then you can target 1 Light Tuner you control, increase or decrease its level by 1, and then if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can send 1 Blue Eyes monster or 1 monster that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to the graveyard, except Neo Kaiser Seahorse, and you can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. What really matters though with this card is the fact that if it's, let's say, sent from the field to the graveyard as a link material or as a synchro material, you can send either a Blue Eyes monster or a monster that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon very specifically, so you can send your Maiden of White, and of course this card has a very relevant graveyard effect. So Neo Kaiser Seahorse has a lot of really awesome synergy in this deck. It's a great card, and you can absolutely play 3 copies of this card because it is a 1-card full combo. Now we still have some more monsters, and this one might actually be, again, the MVP of the new cards. Link 1 monster, Spirit with Eyes of Blue. A lot of people are considering this card to be the best one. So you need a level 4 or lower Dragon or Spellcaster monster, but unfortunately while it's on the field, you cannot special summon monsters except Dragon monsters. This continuous effect disappears as soon as the Spirit with Eyes of Blue disappears, and then you can only use each effects of this card's name once per turn. So if this card is Link Summon, you can take a Mausoleum of White from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. Usually you're going to be adding it to your hand, and then you can tribute it and then special summon a Blue Eyes monster from your hand or graveyard. However, if you summon an effect monster from the grave, it cannot attack forever, and its effects are negated also forever. Please keep in mind that if you have something like an SP Little Knight and then you banish your monster temporarily and then it comes back, it forgets that it cannot attack, and that its effects are negated. So that is actually a really nice interaction that you would have access to. So this card is something that is completely free to access with your engine. So either Sage with Eyes of Blue or Neo Kaiser Seahorse can turn into this Link 1 monster, and then you search the field spell. The field spell can target the Link 1, and then you can send the Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to the graveyard, and then you tribute this Link 1, revive back the Blue Eyes, and then usually you can revive back the Maiden of White, and then keep playing from there. There's fantastic lines of play with this card. It's honestly really good, and again, it really glues everything together, and it makes Mausoleum of White actually do something for once. Now, there is two other monsters. So the other one is Blue Eye Spirit Ultimate Dragon. It's a level 12 synchro monster. By the way, you basically can't synchro summon this card. You will pretty much always be summoning this with Blue Eye Spirit Dragon's effect. So it reads, your opponent cannot banish cards from your graveyard, which is very relevant at helping you beat Bestials or Called by the Grave. And then you can only use each of the following effects of Blue Eye Spirit Ultimate Dragon once per turn. So when a card or effect is activated on the field, quick effect, you can negate the activation, and if you do, this card gains 1000 attack until the end of this turn. And then if this card is destroyed by battle or by card effect, including your own card effects, so if it has to die on the end phase by a Blue Eye Spirit Dragon, for example, you can special summon one Light Dragon monster from your graveyard except itself. So one very relevant play that you can do is, let's say, go Blue Eye Spirit Dragon, summon this, and then you can negate anything on the field, and then on the end phase it dies, and then it gets back your Blue Eye Spirit Dragon, or it can revive back your Blue Eyes White Dragon, and then since Blue Eyes White Dragon was revived, you can trigger the Maiden of White so that it comes back as well. So yeah, this synchro monster is fantastic. However, the last monster is more or less good. This one is Indigo Eye Silver Dragon. It's a rank 8 monster. It requires 2 level 8 dragon monsters, and it has absolutely nothing to do with Blue Eyes White Dragon, actually. So it cannot attack directly unless it has a normal monster as material, and then you can only use each effects of Indigo Eye Silver Dragon once per turn. If this card is XC summoned, you can negate the effects of all face-up cards your opponent currently controls, and then you can detach material from this card, then target one normal monster in your grave or in your banished, special summon it, and if you do, it gains 1000 attack. Honestly, I don't really think that you need this for anything, and it's also much harder than you think to summon 2 level 8 monsters and then go for this and then push through boards that way. Usually you're going to be synchro summoning, you're not really going to be XC summoning. I actually think that this card is better in like the Galaxy Tachyon deck. It's not even that great in Blue Eyes, so you can afford to completely disregard this card. It's not that great. Nobody's playing it in the OCG either. Anyways, now for these spells and traps. The first one is Wishes for Eyes of Blue, and it is the bomb. It is much better than Melody of Awakening Dragon. This card is everything that you could have asked for. So the cost of this card is to discard a card, and then you get to add a level 1 Light Tuner and a spell or trap card that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to your hand, except itself. And then you can banish it from the graveyard, and then target one Blue Eyes White Dragon you control, equip one Blue Eyes monster from your extra deck to it as an equip spell that gives it 400 attack, and you can only use each effect that discards name once per turn. So yet again, very good card, and if you're not aware of the combos that you can do in this deck, by the way, I really recommend that you check out my spreadsheet video. The link will be in the description box below. Anyways, the other spell card is Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragons, and it is also a very good one. So you get to special summon a Blue Eyes monster from your deck, graveyard, or banished in defense position, but you can only special summon Blue Eyes White Dragon with this effect if you do not control it. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the start of the turn except dragon monsters. And then the graveyard effect is more or less relevant, so you can banish it and then fusion summon a fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field, including a Blue Eyes monster. Again, not super relevant. You're only really going to be special summoning a Blue Eyes White Dragon, usually with this effect. Finally, there is a new trap card, and that one is also very good, Majesty with Dragons of White. So for this one, you gotta show up to 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon, very specifically the OG one, from your hand, face of field, and or graveyard. Then destroy that many cards your opponent controls, it doesn't target. And then you get to banish this card from the grave, ritual summon a ritual monster from your hand by tributing Blue Eyes White Dragons from your hand or field, whose total level equal exactly the level of the ritual monster. So yeah, it has a lot of potential. Again, I have showcased some combos with this. Alright, with that out of the way, let's get into the deck profile. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so this is going to be my $40 to $50 Blue Eyes deck that you can play and actually expect to have a lot of success with. I'm not kidding, this deck is really that good. So as a matter of fact, the first column of hand traps, like I said, are hand traps that are included in the structure deck. So really, that just speaks volume on how good this deck really is. It comes with all these cards. So if you buy 3 structure decks, you already have, yourself 4 play sets of probably some of the most powerful hand traps this game has ever seen. And then maybe if you have the money for like the 30 cents Drill and Logbird or something, this card is worth absolutely nothing. And as a matter of fact, I have like 10 copies of this card and I don't even own cards. So you can easily buy 3 copies of Drill and Logbird yourself. You can buy 2 copies of Ghost Ogre or 3 copies of Called by the Grave. I'm pretty sure Called by the Grave is in the OCG structure deck, but we don't have like the confirmation of the whole structure deck yet. So I'm really just speculating at the moment, but this card is also worth absolutely nothing. And then Bingo Machine is in Rarity Collection 2, if I recall correctly, and that card is worth pretty much nothing now. It's very cheap, so you can also get this card for literally free. and then everything else is in the structure deck, if I recall correctly. So yeah, 3 Neo Kaiser Seahorse, it's a 1-card combo, 3 Sage with Eyes of Blue, another 1-card combo, 3 Maiden of White, 3 Roar, or rather Wishes for Eyes of Blue, 3 Bingo Machine, as well as 2 Saga of the Blue-Eyed Dragon, a Mausoleum of White, as well as a Majesty with Dragons of White, a True Light, and your 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons. So we are playing 15 1-card combos, so that gives you, what, a 91.93% chance, if I recall correctly, of drawing one of these 15 cards. And there's some other unique ways of, you know, getting access to your engine in a way. So you can draw like Drill and Logbird and Effect Veiler, and that can still make your Blue Eye Spirit Dragon, because you can normal summon Drill and Logbird, make the Spirit of Eyes of Blue, and then search your Mausoleum, and then send the Blue Eyes White Dragon, tribute the Spirit, revive back Blue Eyes, and then extra normal summon for Effect Veiler, and then make your Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. So sometimes your hand is complete garbage, and you can still make it work. This deck is very consistent. It can play a huge amount of hand traps, and you can play it either as a combo deck or as a control deck or mid-range deck. You really choose what you want to do with this deck. I absolutely love it. Anyways, now for the extra deck, which again, you have a lot of control over what you want to do. So 1 Indigo Ice Sailor Dragon that comes in the structure deck anyways. 2 Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon also comes in the structure deck, so you don't really have to spend any extra money. 2 Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon, same thing. The Virtual World QB Shenshen, either that or like anything else that you want to play like as a level 9 Synchro or a Link monster or something, but this card is also very easy to get, so it doesn't really matter too much. Azure Eye Silver Dragon, not super required. And then 2 Blue Eye Spirit Ultimate Dragons, which you will be getting anyways in the structure deck, with obviously 3 Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. That's a no-brainer. And then 2 copies of the Link one, and the Hieratic Seal, which is in the OCG structure deck, but I'm not 100% sure if it'll also be in the TCG one. So yeah, just with this main deck and this extra deck, you're already in a super good position, but then obviously you need a side deck. And again, the good news is that the majority of the side deck cards are super cheap anyway, so it's not like you're gonna have to break the bank in order to have a proper side deck for next format. So I want to say the best side deck cards at the current moment, or at least, again, for the February format when the structure deck will be legal, will be cards like Ultimate Slayer, Artifact Lancia, Dimensional Barrier, and then board breakers, well, I mean, back removal such as Harpy's Feather Duster, Lightning Storm, Cosmic Cyclone. You can easily cheap out and just play, you know, the least expensive copies, and then you can play some going first cards such as Skill Drain, Triple Tactic Talent. You can even play some Bestial Monsters. There are so many things that you can do. And also, if you have the budget in order to make this deck a little more competitive, you can also play a Primite engine. So I will be making a full dedicated video to just the Primite Blue Eyes White Dragon deck. If this video can get to 1,000 likes, I know we can get there. And this engine really adds a lot to the deck, by the way. It's not like you just summon one normal monster and then you do nothing else. It's actually extremely good in this deck, I can confirm. These Synchro monsters I don't think are like super expensive. I think Crimson Dragon is like over 10 bucks or something, and then Cosmic Blazar maybe like 5 or something, but it really adds a lot to the strategy, so I really do recommend spending like an extra $15 to $20 on these two cards. Definitely makes the deck much better. And then the Molchemy monsters, they're obviously great cards, but they're super expensive, so even if you don't have the money for them, it's not the end of the world. Dominus Purge, last time I checked, was like 18 US, so if you want to buy like 3 Dominus Purge, maybe that's gonna be like 55, 60 US, which might be like over your budget. Again, this card really will increase the win rate of your deck because it is a very good card into the Raziel deck. They go for a dual drive effect, you go Dominus Purge, negate, and then they're in a really bad mood. And again, every single one of your monsters in your deck and extra deck pretty much are light monsters, just no conflicting with Dominus Purge whatsoever. And then finally, if you have a little bit more extra money, you can also buy SP Little Knight or Dragon Master Magia, which is not needed at all, by the way. In the OCG, nobody's playing this card because they're all playing with the Primate engine, which again, I really believe in. This engine is extremely good. But yeah, that's all I had for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.